In a 7-4 decision, yes, 7-4, the United States Circuit Court for the Federal Circuit has upheld a decision by the United States Court of International Trade that says Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal and against IEEPA. Here's the decision: VOS Selections Inc. and others against, well, a whole bunch of people, including Donald Trump, in his capacity as President of the United States. The list of lawyers is 2 pages long. The case was in front of the entire court, hence the 7-4 decision. One judge did not participate. In a nutshell, here's what was going on and here's what happened according to the first paragraph of the case. The government appeals a decision from the Court of International Trade setting aside 5 executive orders that imposed tariffs of unlimited duration on nearly all goods from nearly every country in the world, holding that the tariffs were not authorized by the International Emergency and Economic Powers Act. Because we agree that IEEPA's grant of presidential authority to, quote, regulate imports does not authorize the tariffs imposed by the executive orders, we affirm. Now, the administration will appeal this to the United States Supreme Court, and the Federal Circuit put its own decision on hold for 2 weeks so the administration can do that. This will go onto the shadow docket, and the Supreme Court is likely to put this decision on hold pending a full appeal to the United States Supreme Court. What happens then? Well, I think the Supreme Court is likely to overturn the Federal Circuit. Why? Not because of the merits, but because of what Justin Jackson has described as Calvin Ball. And Calvin Ball, of course, from Calvin and Hobbes, there are no rules. Number 2, Donald Trump always seems to win. It seems to me lately that lower courts have been getting decisions right, generally because they're not encumbered by the same ideological problems that the Supreme Court is. The Supreme Court seems to rule based on what they want to happen, not what the law is. And that's happened for a very, very long time. We're talking decades, if not centuries. The Supreme Court is free to do whatever they want. Lower courts really aren't. They have to follow Supreme Court precedent, and I think are much likely to simply follow the letter of the law. We'll see if that's right or not. In the meantime, tariffs will continue, and experts have said that refunding the tariffs paid, which could happen if the Supreme Court decides that these are in fact illegal tariffs, would be an absolute logistical nightmare and lead to massive amounts of litigation. Maybe for that reason alone, we can expect the Supreme Court to reverse. We shall see.